Hey YouTube, it's Bugout, and in this video we're going to be going over two new everyday carry pocket knives that I just received from Kershaw. These just came out in 2017, and I've already had some experience with handling them and putting them through their paces, so stay with me, and I'm going to go over not just the specs but also my thoughts and opinions on the performance of both these knives. Don't go away, stay tuned for more. It's Bugout, and in this video we're going to be going over two excellent knives that were just launched from Kershaw. As I stated in the intro of this video, we're going to be going over the Kershaw Eris as well as the Kershaw Dividend. And let me go ahead and rattle off some of the specs on these, and then I'll get into my thoughts and opinions on them after I use them and put them through the paces, and I'll tell you what I've discovered. So let's start off with the Dividend first. So the price on this is retailing around $38. The blade length is 3 inches, which is 7.6 centimeters. The steel on it is 420 HC. The weight is 2.6 ounces, which is around 76 grams, and it's made in the USA. The Kershaw Eris, the retail on that is around $30. The blade length is the same, 3 inches or 7.6 centimeters. The steel is 8 CR13 MOV. The weight is 4.7 ounces, which is around 133 grams, and it's made in China. Now, one thing, as you can see, I like the American flag on it. You can see this is proudly made in America. But if you want to compare this to another famous Kershaw model, although I don't have it on the table, it would be the Kershaw Leak, which retails around $44, which is a little over $5 more than the Dividend on the table. The blade length is exactly the same with 3 inches, and the steel on the Leak is Sandvik 14C28N, and the weight on the Leak is 0.4 ounces more at a weight of 3 ounces compared to the Dividend, which is 2.6 ounces. So if you're a fan of the Leak, you might actually be a bigger fan of the Kershaw Dividend. But let me tell you my thoughts on both these knives here after I kind of give you all a close-up of the knife itself. So this is the Dividend. The lockup is liner lock. It has a flipper, like a lot of Kershaw does, a lot of Kershaw knives do, and it has a little bit of jimping, which makes it very easy to activate that spring assist and that torsion bar that's going to be in that pivot. It's a drop point. Like I said, very similar to the Leak, the profile of it. The pocket clip is tip up, tip down, left or right hand carry. It has kind of an interesting back design where you could probably like force air through there in order to clean it, but it isn't an open pillar design or anything, so just make sure that you maintain that. I really like the American flag right there. I like the fact that also it's pointing in that direction, which is very similar to I'm sure what it's based off of, which are the uniforms that American troops use whenever they charge into battle. You want the Union facing where you're running towards. The pocket clip is nice, simple, easy design. It goes into the pocket with ease, and it stays in place, and it doesn't come out of the pocket until you need it to come out. And then the last thing that a pocket clip needs to be, which this also is shouldn't cause hot spots when you're bearing down and hard using this knife, as it's or at least within its intended parameters. The handle is very ergonomically designed. It has aluminum scales, although you can also get ones that have the plastic injection molding to get a little bit more of a to fill up the palms a little bit more, which maybe I actually kind of like this design better. Maybe I just don't have a lot of aluminum scale handles, but it's really up to you guys which handle style you prefer. It's excellent at piercing, and I'll talk about how it compares to the Kershaw Eris here in a second. So this is the Eris, and as you can see, it is made in China. It does say that right on the blade. So for those of y'all who don't want to purchase something that's made in China, I fully support you guys and your decision on that. However, for the rest of y'all who that maybe that's not as big of an issue, some of the features on this is that the ergonomics on this handle is actually, in my opinion, this is my opinion, my experience only, but I felt that even though this is very ergonomic, the Dividend is, the Eris had even better ergonomics. And it's not just the handle. I'll tell you why here in a second. But let's talk about, let's try to go in the same order, similar order. But this one has it's a frame lock design, so that's going to be frame locks are traditionally a stronger lockup than the liner lock, because there's more that's holding that blade in place if you were to bear down on it. This is sort of an early lockup, and this is sort of a, I guess, similarly early lockup anyways. Talking about the flipper, yes, that is going to have the same sort of jimping as well, and there's also a jimping here on the spine, or at the bottom of the spine. There's no jimping, nor is there a depression of any kind on the Dividend. But this depression right here, so whether I used it like this or used it holding down the depression, which is kind of how I prefer to use knives, it meant it isn't like it completely stood apart from the Dividend, but I noticed that I had better control over what I was cutting. And that can mean the difference between cutting yourself or cutting what you're intending to use sometimes, as my experience has told me. And then it's got drop point design. The handle material is steel that is coated with titanium powder coating, and the pocket clip is a slightly different design, and it's actually kind of more stylized, which I kind of like. And it's also, it doesn't cause any hot spots or anything at all. At least not from my use anyways. And the same thing that can be said about the Dividend's pocket clip can be said about this one. However, it is not four-way positionable. It's only left or right hand carry in the tip up capacity, which a lot of the knife community prefers anyways. And you can see this has an open pillar construction, so that makes it really easy to clean, with like a Q-tip or whatnot, easy to maintain. And both of them have the spring assist. These are both, neither one of these are manual flippers. So that is the basic rundown of both of these knives. Now, how these guys compare, I went through a lot of different boxes. I went side by side using the exact same boxes at times, and there's a lot more cutting that I did with this than I can show you guys on camera, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. But I really liked both of these knives, so either one of them, depending on what you're looking for, either one of them would be an excellent choice, and I'll leave links for both of them in the description box down below. With that said, all other things equal, if these guys were, let's say they're both made in the same place and same steel and everything like that, the design of these knives the Dividend is better at, cutting through plastic, trying to get, so if you guys get a lot of items that, maybe that's what you use your pocket knives for, is, cutting up those plastic shells and trying to get what's inside, then, the Dividend is actually a better performer. But for everything else, and especially cardboard boxes, I've noticed that the Eris outperforms the Dividend. It's more ergonomic. You have better control, partially because of the ergonomics, over what you're cutting through. It slices better. I mean, it's just in my opinion, just a better performer. So if you're looking for a beater knife that is also a flipper knife, and maybe you're like me and you just like, you like flipping your knives and you're fiddling with them, then maybe this might be your next beater knife. If it's only slightly more expensive, but if you're looking for a lightweight, maybe replacement to your leak, or maybe you haven't purchased a leak and you've heard a lot about them, and maybe you just want to support Kershaw and the local economy and get a good knife at the same time, then the Kershaw Dividend might be the knife for you. So it's really hard to say because this one is so much lighter weight than this one. It's almost half the weight. It's really hard to say this knife is better than this knife, or this knife is better than this one. But when it comes to cardboard boxes, I mean, I would choose the Eris hands down. When it comes to just ease of carry, and like I said, plastic cutting or piercing things, then I would say the Kershaw Dividend would be the knife that I recommend. Like I said, either one of these knives are excellent. They're both ergonomic. I have had no issues whatsoever with the design or functionality of either of these knives, and I'll be leaving links for them in the description box down below. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section, and if there are other knives, whether it be from Kershaw, because Kershaw released a lot of other new knives this year, whether it be from Kershaw or other companies, please let me know what you'd like me to review next. Y'all stay safe out there, and remember, it pays to be prepared. God bless. Hey YouTube, it's Bugout, and in this video we're going to be going over